While everyone's stockpiling food and water for emergencies, they're completely missing 20 dirt-cheap items that could literally save their lives. And most people realize it way too late. In this video, you'll discover the affordable, everyday essentials that preppers wish they'd stocked up on sooner. These aren't your typical survival supplies. They're the overlooked items that become absolutely critical when disaster strikes. Stay until the end to learn which common household item becomes the most valuable bartering tool in an emergency. Welcome to Essential Pantry, where we help you prepare smartly without breaking the bank. If you find this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our practical preparedness tips. Let's start with something everyone takes for granted until the moment they desperately need it: the ability to start a fire. Lighters are hands down one of the most indispensable items you can stockpile. Think about it. Fire means warmth when it's freezing, cooked food when you're hungry, and sterilized equipment when infection could be deadly. The beauty of lighters is their compact size and ease of storage. You should have them everywhere, in your bug-out bag, in your everyday carry, scattered around your house in logical places. Now, you can grab those cheap disposable lighters at any gas station, but here's the truth. When your life depends on it, you want reliability. Brands like Bic and Zippo have earned their reputation for a reason. They work when you need them to work, period. But don't stop at lighters. Matches, especially stormproof varieties, are your backup plan. Unlike lighters, matches don't run out of fuel, and they can sit in storage for years without losing their effectiveness. Long stick matches make the job easier, particularly when conditions are less than ideal. Stormproof matches are worth every penny because they'll light even in wind and rain, exactly the conditions you're likely to face in an actual emergency. Store them in multiple locations for redundancy. If one stash gets wet or lost, you've got others. Now let's talk about fuel. Yes, it's not always the cheapest thing to stockpile, but it's absolutely vital. You need fuel for cooking, for heating, for sterilization. Consider keeping butane, propane, firewood, and alcohol for stoves. The key is variety. Different disaster scenarios call for different solutions. A winter blackout demands different fuel than a summer evacuation. Pair your fuels with the right equipment too. Portable stoves, indoor burners designed for emergencies, these become your lifeline when the power grid goes down and stays down. Here's something nobody wants to talk about, but everyone needs: toilet paper. It seems almost comical to mention until you're 3 days into a crisis and you've run out. Maintaining sanitation isn't just about comfort. It's about preventing illness. When medical help might be days or weeks away, the last thing you need is a preventable health crisis. Calculate how much your household uses and stockpile accordingly. This isn't glamorous prep work, but it's the kind of simple comfort that becomes absolutely invaluable when supplies disappear. Bleach is another powerhouse that deserves space in your stockpile. This stuff is a multi-purpose miracle. It purifies water, sanitizes surfaces, and dramatically reduces infection risk. You don't need to store dozens of gallons, just a few will do. But those few gallons give you options when clean water is scarce and disease is a real threat. Bleach's versatility makes it essential for both everyday cleaning and emergency sanitation situations. Let's talk soap, specifically bars of soap. They have a longer shelf life than liquid alternatives, and they're far easier to store. Hygiene maintenance is non-negotiable in a survival situation. Bars of soap also make excellent bartering items, which we'll discuss more later. If you're feeling ambitious, consider learning to make your own soap for added self-sufficiency. Stock up on various sizes and types to cover different needs, from personal hygiene to laundry. Moving on to one of the most versatile items you can own: trash bags. And I'm not talking about your standard kitchen bags, I mean heavy-duty contractor yard bags. These things are workhorses. Sure, they handle waste disposal, but they're also waterproofing solutions, window sealers, and even makeshift shelter materials. Their durability means they can handle rough treatment without tearing. Keep an assortment of sizes because different tasks demand different solutions. From cleaning up debris to protecting valuables from moisture, trash bags do it all. Solar blankets, those cheap, crinkly emergency blankets, are incredibly underrated. They're lightweight, compact, and surprisingly strong. You can use them for warmth, for shelter, or exactly as intended in emergencies. Their low cost means you can stockpile dozens without breaking your budget. Keep them for personal use, yes, but also consider them prime bartering material. When someone's freezing and desperate, a solar blanket becomes priceless. Now we get into the fastening and repair category, starting with zip ties. These simple plastic strips simplify countless tasks. They're easier than tying knots and more secure in many situations. They come in various sizes for different applications, from delicate electronics to heavy structural repairs. Store an assortment because you never know what you'll need to secure, bundle, or improvise. When traditional fasteners aren't available or practical, zip ties save the day. Tape deserves its own spotlight because not all tape is created equal. Duct tape is the universal fixer. It can temporarily repair almost anything. Electrical tape is essential for safe wiring and weatherproofing connections. Painter's tape and Scotch tape handle less permanent tasks, like putting up window film or hanging blackout curtains. The variety matters because different situations demand different solutions. A comprehensive tape collection ensures you're prepared for whatever breaks, leaks, or needs sealing. Cordage is invaluable for tying, securing, and improvising solutions. Paracord is the prepper favorite, and for good reason. It's incredibly strong and versatile, but don't overlook jute twine and bank line. Each type has specific advantages depending on the task. Keep a range of cordage types and lengths because you'll use them for everything: building shelters, repairing gear, securing supplies, creating clotheslines. When you need to tie something down or hang something up, proper cordage makes the job possible. Glues round out your repair arsenal. Superglue, wood glue, and industrial adhesives like E6000 can fix broken items, seal leaks, or help construct makeshift solutions. While duct tape is handy for quick fixes, glue often provides a stronger, longer-lasting hold. Different materials require different adhesives, so store a selection. When something breaks, and things will break, having the right glue means the difference between a temporary patch job and a real repair. Flashlights are absolutely crucial when the lights go out, and they will go out. Stockpile a mix of high-quality and inexpensive options. Keep extras in every room, in your car, in your emergency kits. The cheap flashlights are perfect for bartering or lending to neighbors who weren't prepared. Premium models offer the durability and brightness you need when you're navigating darkness or signaling for help. Reliable lighting isn't optional, it's essential for safety, navigation, and maintaining some sense of normalcy. Batteries power everything that matters when the grid is down. Flashlights, radios, communication devices, they're all useless without power. Research affordable brands that offer reliable performance, or stick with trusted names like Energizer and Duratel. Store an assortment of sizes and types to match all your devices, and here's a critical tip: rotate your stock. Batteries have shelf lives, and you don't want to discover your entire supply is dead when you actually need them. Let's talk about something that seems small but has massive impact: instant coffee. No, it's not life-saving in the medical sense, but morale matters more than most people realize. When you're stressed, exhausted, and dealing with a crisis, that familiar taste of coffee can provide comfort and a sense of normalcy. The small, individually packed portions are perfect for bug-out bags, and they make excellent bartering items. Some people will trade surprisingly valuable things for caffeine when they're going through withdrawal. If you have the resources, also keep a percolator or French press for brewing regular coffee. Hand sanitizer became obviously important during the pandemic, but its value in disaster scenarios can't be overstated. When running water is scarce or non-existent, maintaining hygiene becomes incredibly challenging. Hand sanitizer provides a solution. Stockpile small bottles for portability and bartering potential. It helps prevent illness when traditional cleaning methods aren't available, and in a world without easy access to healthcare, prevention is everything. Wet wipes serve as a temporary solution for maintaining cleanliness when showers aren't possible. They're useful for cleaning hands, face, and body after work or exposure to dirt and grime. Look, they're not a long-term substitute for proper bathing, but they bridge the gap until normal hygiene routines can resume. In the meantime, they help you feel human and prevent the buildup of bacteria that leads to skin infections and other problems. Band-aids and bandages might seem too basic to mention, but minor injuries are inevitable in disaster scenarios. A small cut can become infected, a blister can become debilitating. Stockpile band-aids, bandages, and medical tape to handle cuts, scrapes, blisters, and minor wounds. Build your supply gradually over time, ensuring you have enough for both emergencies and everyday use. The key is having them before you need them, because once disaster strikes, stores empty fast. Now here's something most people don't consider: the bartering value of everyday items. In a real disaster scenario, traditional currency may lose its value. When that happens, essential supplies become the new medium of exchange. Items like lighters, matches, soap, instant coffee, and hand sanitizer become highly sought after. People will trade other necessities for these items. Bartering isn't just about survival, it's about building community and mutual support. By stockpiling versatile, low-cost items, you position yourself to help others and secure resources you may lack.
So, how do you actually build this stockpile without overwhelming yourself or your budget? Start small and build over time. You don't need to buy everything at once. Gradually accumulate supplies as your budget allows. Focus on items with long shelf lives and multiple uses first. Those give you the most value for your investment. Organization matters more than most people realize. Keep your stockpile organized so you actually know what you have and where it's stored. There's no point in having supplies if you can't find them when you need them. Rotate perishable items to ensure freshness and usability. Create a simple inventory system. It doesn't have to be fancy, just functional. Diversification is key. Don't rely on a single solution for each need. Multiple types of tape, various kinds of cordage, different lighting options. This redundancy provides flexibility. If one solution fails or runs out, you have alternatives. Disasters are unpredictable, and having options means you can adapt. Consider your storage space realistically. Choose items that are compact and easy to store. Contractor bags, solar blankets, and zip ties take up very little room, but offer enormous benefits.
Efficient storage means you can stockpile more without turning your home into a chaotic warehouse. And here's something important. Think beyond just your household. Stockpiling extra supplies allows you to help neighbors and friends who weren't prepared. It also gives you bartering power for essentials you might need. Community resilience is just as important as individual preparedness. When neighborhoods work together, everyone's survival odds improve dramatically. The items we've covered today, all 20 of them, cost less than a single premium emergency food kit, yet they're what separates uncomfortable survival from total disaster. They're the difference between managing through a crisis and being completely overwhelmed by it. These aren't glamorous supplies. They won't make impressive photos for social media, but they are the backbone of effective emergency planning. When the power goes out for weeks, when stores are empty, when you're dealing with the reality of a major disaster, these everyday essentials become extraordinary lifesavers. Disaster preparedness isn't really about the supplies themselves. It's about cultivating a mindset of readiness, adaptability, and community thinking. It's about looking at common items and seeing their potential. It's about planning ahead instead of reacting in panic. Remember, there are hundreds of other items that could be added to this list. The key is thinking creatively, planning ahead, and sharing your ideas with others. Preparedness is a collective effort, and every contribution strengthens the whole community. Start building your stockpile today. Begin with just a few items from this list, whichever ones make the most sense for your situation and budget. Then add more gradually. Before you know it, you'll have a comprehensive collection of supplies that provides real security and peace of mind. Your future self will thank you for taking action now, while these items are cheap and readily available. Because when disaster strikes, and eventually some form of disaster strikes everyone, you'll be ready. You'll have the tools, supplies, and confidence to handle whatever comes your way. Take care, prepare, and stay ready for whatever the future brings.